right now, a believer is looking up, waiting to vanish, waiting for the trumpet, the empty clothes on the floor, the car with no driver. They were told the door is up, that before it ever gets hard, they will simply be gone. But here's the part nobody mentions. That entire doctrine has a birthday, and it is younger than the United States. For the first 1800 years of the faith, Jesus never taught that. No apostle, no church father, no disciple. Open the book yourself.
I do not understand.
This is the truth about the so-called rapture.
I tell you, in that night, there shall be two in one bed. One shall be taken, and the other shall be left.
In the 1830s, a preacher named John Nelson Darby popularized a somewhat brand new idea that the church would be secretly caught away before a coming tribulation, escape before the storm. It spread through the Scofield Reference Bible in 1909, printed right there in the margins next to the text until people could no longer tell the note from the verse. Then the Left Behind novels and films sold it to a whole generation as if it had always been there. It had not. Search the first 18 centuries of Christianity and you will not find it, not in a single father, not in a single creed. And here is the strange part. Christ opened his warning about the end with this.
Matthew 24:5. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
Then Paul, writing to a church already rattled by end times rumors, said it even plainer.
2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Do not be shaken, he says. Do not fall for the framing. 1800 years of the faith never taught this. And Paul told them in advance not to. That is not a footnote. That is the foundation cracking. But what about the verse? The famous one. The proof text on every rapture chart.
1 Thessalonians chapter 4. Verse 17, caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air.
Caught up, there it is, they say, the evacuation. But read the next move. Read where they actually end up. Revelation says the saints reign with him on the earth. The pattern of the gathering was never extraction. Listen to Ezekiel describe it.
Ezekiel chapter 20, verse 35. There will I plead with you face to face.
That is geography, wilderness, ground, face to face. And then the psalm.
Psalms chapter 50, verse 5. Gather my saints together unto me.
Gathered to him. The motion is convergence, not escape. When a groom goes out to meet his bride, he does not move in with her parents. He brings her home. The catching up is a meeting, not a destination. The saints are gathered, changed, and brought to reign. Then comes the line that built an entire film franchise. One taken, one left. Everyone assumes you want to be the one taken. Christ tells you to check that assumption against a flood.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
In the days of Noah, who got taken away? The wicked. The flood took them. It carried them off in judgment. And who was left? Noah, his family, the ones who remained to inherit a washed clean world. Being taken in Noah's flood was not rescue. It was removal to destruction. And the book of Esdras says it without a riddle.
2 Esdras chapter 13, verse 24. They that be left, more blessed are they than they that be taken away.
The modern teaching runs the verse backward. You were taught to pray you'd be taken. Scripture spent the whole story teaching you to be the one who remained. So if the saints are not evacuated, what are they? Well, they're present through all of it. Jesus never promised his people an exit from hardship. He promised the opposite. If you know, you know.
John chapter 15, verse 20. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
Persecution is the inheritance, not the exception. Daniel watched it in a vision. The saints are not lifted out before the pressure. They are in it.
Daniel chapter 7, verse 25. And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
Worn out. You cannot wear out someone who isn't there. John saw the same thing and called it by its right name.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
And then the victory.
Revelation chapter 15, verse 2. Them that had gotten the victory over the beast stand on the sea of glass.
You only get victory over something you faced. The crown was never for the evacuated. It was for the ones who endured. Now let's focus on Noah a little bit, because Jesus himself made him the poster boy of the end.
Matthew chapter 24, verse 37. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
Think about what actually happened to Noah. He was not lifted out of the earth before the water rose. He was sealed inside the ark and carried through the very flood that destroyed everyone else.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 7. By faith Noah prepared an ark to the saving of his house.
Warned, prepared, endured, saved through, not saved from. That is the model. Not an escape hatch in the ceiling, a door in the side of the ark, shut by the hand of God, and a family that rode the judgment out and stepped onto a new world. The man waiting to vanish has been looking in the wrong direction the whole time. The door was never up, it was through. And now, the signs. What Jesus told them to watch for is not subtle. Wars and rumors of wars, false Christs and false prophets, rising, convincing, multiplying, famines, pestilences, the ground itself shaking in places it never used to, a generation growing colder, love waxing thin, people eating and drinking and marrying, exactly as they did the week before the flood, noticing nothing.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 7. Only he who now letteth will let, until he be taken out of the way.
There is a restraint on the evil of this world right now, a hand holding it back, and the warning is that the hand will one day lift. None of this is meant to frighten you into a corner. It is meant to wake you up while there is still time to be awake.
Now it's time for the self-audit, and here's the point of the whole matter. It was never about winning a debate. It was never about Darby and putting the blame on him. The scriptures say we need to prepare to meet thy God. This is a commandment underneath every verse in this video. It doesn't say figure out the timeline. It says prepare to meet him. And the door, that's not closed. It's wide open right now, today. The scripture says now is the day of salvation. Not after you clean yourself up, not once you understand prophecy. Now, as you are. If you have spent years afraid, thinking you'd be left behind, hear this. The fear was never the gospel. The gospel is that the same Jesus Christ who is coming back already came once to make a way for anyone who will turn to him. Jesus Christ said, let your loins be girded about and your light burning. So stop staring at the sky waiting to disappear. Stand up, light the lamp, and be ready, whichever way he comes.
Pull the chain together. The Doctrine has a birthday, and it is the 1830s, not the upper room.
In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, the world changed that remains. To walk as angels on this new earth.
Caught up was always a meeting in the air, not a flight out of the world. The ones left behind in the flood were the blessed the remnant who remained. The saints were never promised an exit from tribulation. They were promised a crown for enduring it. And no man, no preacher, no chart, no novel knows the day. So the only question Scripture leaves you with is not when. It is whether you'll be found watching or still waiting to vanish. This was just a small portion of the truth behind the rapture. Check out our full breakdown on the Sword OS app. The Bible app gives you the text. The Sword OS gives you the case. Everyone owns a Bible. The OS is what sharpens it. If this one moves something in you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to visit theswordos.org. Be ready, stay sharp, keep your lamp lit, and keep that extra oil stored.